Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. Another episode of Transfer Talk. Fuck knows why breaking news is there. There we go. Transfer Talk. It is Transfer Talk today. And I'm very excited. With United, we all knew this would happen. When a load of ins come in, well, a couple of ins, a few outs were going to go, especially at the positions that you've strengthened. So we're going to talk about a couple of outs for United today. We're also talking about an in for Villa, potentially them losing a player. So is it a replacement? We'll wait and see. Some comments here. DC saying, hey, sexy Leon. Fuck off, Chelsea. DC not too keen on losing Grealish. Imagine Grealish in centre. Bailey left, Buendia right, Watkins up top. Be a sexual team. It would be a very good attack, that's for sure. We'll wait and see. Maybe Haaland's not happening. Maybe Chelsea see Haaland as an option for. Well, maybe they see Grealish as a replacement instead of getting Haaland. Maybe they see getting that extra creativity, getting them extra goals, and just going with it, seeing what they can do this season. Because without a striker, and if you can't get Haaland, I mean, who can you get this year? Lukaku seems out the window. Lewandowski ain't happening. Harry Kane seems virtually impossible with the club he's at. So there's not a lot of options out there at the moment. So it might be that they just go and get Grealish and just try and work a way around it and keep Werner up top or something. Brandon says he'll go to City. He wants to play a KDB. Well, as Harry Kane has said he wants to play a KDB. But yeah, DC look on Twitter. Don't use Twitter. Bailly is Grealish's replacement. Kenny, I don't give a shit what you say. There's a fair few comments. Crikey, it's absolutely flying the comments today. Lots of arguing. It's better as Cam says DC. Niall, my bro, our king is back once again. Love it. You guys did the ranking video yesterday. I hope you put Man U in first. Greatest team in English football. They were in the top tier. They were. Big up Ravi as well. We are signing Saul. Chiesa wants to join Liverpool. Does he? Well, you're getting everyone. I doubt it. How much are Chelsea looking to pay for Jack? It would be similar to what City are paying or want to pay. Jesus Christ. I voted First Channel as best channel that makes football content on YouTube for the YouTube Awards. Oh, thank you, Jay. I didn't even realise we won there. But thank you. Thank you. We are heroes tonight. Intro, very catchy. It's a very catchy song. I do like it. Yes, no, Villa top tier. Yeah, Villa were top tier as well. Chiesa doesn't want to join Liverpool either. I mean, you never know. Fabrizio told me I was pregnant. I'll believe him. Fair. I voted for this as best podcast. I didn't even realise there was a vote for us. I didn't even realise we were there. You love to see it. What are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about Lautaro Martinez. I am butchering his name, I bet you. We're talking about him to Arsenal, potential movement there, according to Mike McGrath from The Telegraph. So we'll dive a bit deeper into that. Also, we're talking Jack Grealish to Chelsea. I've said Grealish to Manchester City too many times. To Chelsea, possibilities there, especially of the movement that Villa are then doing as a possible, maybe potentially replacement for Jack Grealish. Maybe they're getting eggs in their baskets just in case they are going to lose Grealish. Leon Bailey is a great replacement, I would say. But that leads perfectly into Leon Bailey, who Villa are in direct contact with, according to Fabrizio Romano. And then, as I said, the couple of outs from Manchester United. Phil Jones, West Ham are interested, but don't worry, Lanzi. There's a lot more to this that meets the eye. Don't worry, it's not going to be a high contract, that's for sure. And it'll probably be for free. And last but not least, we're talking Tuanzebe. Newcastle interested in a loan for Tuanzebe. So we'll start with Martinez. The intro, very sexy. Love it. The outro music is funky. Everyone's loving the music, loving it. Martinez would be a great signing for Arsenal, but don't think it'll happen at all. I don't think so either, but it certainly will be an interesting one. If Liverpool sign Chiellini or Bonucci or any of those, also Jorginho, then I'm off to liking United or City. I will like anyone without an Italian player right now. I'm still bitter, believe it or not. Us English people, we keep grudges. Phil Jones, Craig Dawson, Sam Johnson. If that don't scream Brexit, I don't know what will. It does scream Brexit. But look, a bit of depth. West Ham in Europa League, so definitely need a look at getting some squad depth in there. Phil Jones, if you can get him for free on a cheap wage, it's not that bad. It could be a decent sign. If City get Kane and Grealish, they'll have such a strong team, says Jay. I completely agree. I do completely agree. Big up Niall, says Chris. Chiellini signed a new contract with Juve. That is true. Right. Are Chelsea even interested in Jack Grealish? They are, according to some reports. Good luck to Arsenal getting Martinez. That's all I'm saying. Keep it nice. Chiesa is a good player. He really impressed me this summer. He's ready for the Prem. I'm not ready to watch an Italian player in the Prem. I really don't want to watch Jorginho either. My agenda is now Jorginho. I'm just chucking that out there. No, I don't think the Prem needs to see Italian players. If that's the case, I'll go to the Bundesliga. Martinez, so according to Mike McGrath, Arsenal have made an inquiry for Inter Milan striker Martinez during their ambitious summer in the transfer market. Now, why do I not think this will happen straight away? Well, straight away, Inter don't need the money now. They sold what's his name? That right back. His name has completely gone over my bloody head. They've sold a player. Cannot remember his name. That is going to bug me. Who was that right back they sold? They sold a right back. I know that much. But yeah, they've sold a player to generate more funds. So they definitely don't need the money. That's for sure. With Lukaku obviously also not leaving, I don't think Inter are looking to sell anymore. Hakimi, that's the guy. That's the guy. Mind went blank then. So yeah, they sold Hakimi, so they don't really need to sell Martinez. They don't really need to sell Lukaku. So I don't think that they'll sell Martinez. I mean, they have got Champions League football as well. Is Martinez going to sacrifice getting Champions League football with Inter Milan to go to Arsenal? I highly doubt it. In fact, I very much doubt it. So I don't see this happening, unfortunately, for Arsenal fans, as much as it would improve your squad massively. It would improve your team. I don't see how this happens. I really don't. And look, I would love to be wrong for you guys, because to be frankly honest, as we spoke about earlier in terms of Ben White, I don't think Ben White's a good enough signing for you guys. So it's definitely one that we'll keep our eyes on, but I definitely don't think that it is going to happen. That is for sure. Where's Jack Grealish going to play for Chelsea anyway? Left wing. You normally. Great show for the Argyle show tonight, mate. Really enjoyed it once again. So did I. Lanzi says more chance of me signing for Arsenal than Martinez. I personally think we should keep Aubameyang for the year, try and Ketty or Balogun, and try and get into Europe and go for this kind of player next year. That would make sense. You need to build the foundations, don't you? So the issue with Arsenal is you need to sort that midfield out, but you do need goals. You definitely do need goals, and Aubameyang really needs to step up this season. He's on such a high wage. He is your captain. He needs to really step up, in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes this season. Apparently Arsenal wanted Phil Jones, but they have White. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. Arsenal getting Phil Jones, to be brutally honest with you. Man U drew 2-2 with Brentford. Look all right. Yeah, it's not bad. It is not bad. Does Chelsea really need a left winger? No. But do Man City really need a left winger? Probably not. Pre-season just get legs warmed up ready for the start of the season. So it's certainly that. And Velverswan seems to have gone to Planet Cuckoo Land today because a Liverpool fan thinks that they're signing Neymar and Mbappe. When the hell did that happen? That was last year, mate. You're about a year. Wow. Aubameyang has a year left, I reckon, unless he gets a madness this year. I think he will go. No, I hear that. I do hear that. And he probably should leave. I'm naming 100 players. We are signing one of them. Well, let's hope that you've named John McGinn. So that's on Martinez. As I say, I don't think this will happen, but certainly want to keep our eyes out on. Let's talk Jack Grealish. Obviously, Jack Grealish, very, very hot this summer in terms of everyone wanting him. So what is the latest with Jack Grealish? Well, the latest is he's still a Villa player at this precise moment. Now, there are two clubs that can get him. City, Chelsea. Simple. Done. No one else can really afford Jack Grealish. Of course, Manchester United could afford him. They've gone and got Sancho. You're not going to get Sancho and Grealish and Varane in the same window. You'd be fucking nuts. You also need a central midfielder, hence why another reason that you won't get him. So, you are a year late, Max. Yes, Max is a year late after that comment. Can West Ham hurry up and announce Ferreira? This is getting boring now. Welcome to Manchester United. Don't call my boy a year. Twat. What? Oh, wow. DC just called Kenny a twat. Love it. But yeah, no, I do agree with you, Callie, on the Aubameyang situation. But on Grealish, there was plenty of talk around Grealish's future this weekend, with some claims that Villa are prepared to raise their contract offer to keep the captain of Villa Park. However, other reports suggest Chelsea have registered their interest in the England man. The Express say the Champions League winners are aiming to make a bid for Grealish to build on a good start to life under Thomas Tuchel. It's suggested that if Grealish is going to move anywhere, only City or Chelsea could afford him. So, I actually think, the fuck? Who are you calling a twat then? Who are you calling a twat? Don't call my boy a year. Twat. Who are you? A year? Right. Confused. Hashtag Kenny is a twat. I am having... Lovely. Leon Bailey, wasn't he in the Jamaica team? He is. Now, did you say Grealish is hot this summer? Well, yeah, he's hot property, isn't he? Everyone wants Jack Grealish. Villa want him. Chelsea want him. City want him. Get your mind out of the gutter, Kenny. With Kenny Velv. Villa offering Jack 200k. Really? A Velv called John Oh, so you called Velvetois. Right, okay. That makes sense. I mean, you can also call Kenny a twat. Either way works, really. But the thing with City and the thing with Grealish is what happens. Does he stay at Villa? I don't know. Maybe he does have that loyalty to Villa, or does he go for that big money move? And does he try? Does he go to City or Chelsea to win that title? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It is one of them that we're going to have to really wait for this one to develop a little bit more, because right now we know there's only two teams who can get him. But right now we don't know what Grealish is wanting to do. Does Grealish want to stay at Villa? Does he want to go to Chelsea? Does he want to go to City? There's not enough concrete evidence out there to suggest what he's going to do at the moment. So I do think we need to keep our eyes on this one. This one is such a developing story that I absolutely think something will happen. We know something will. Whether he gets a new contract from Villa, whether he leaves for City, whether he leaves for Chelsea, we know something big is on the move for Grealish. Now, we also know it's going to cost a lot of money to prize Jack Grealish away from Villa. This is not a cheap deal. That is for sure. It's a tough one. He's got ages on his contract left. We want more money, but it's being offered already. It's literally a waiting game, like you say. And do you know what? There is belief about the whole he signed a new contract. Because apparently the talk is that he signed a new contract so that because he loves Villa, he absolutely loves Villa. That is not even in question. His love for Villa is clear. But what I think he did by signing this new contract is to ensure that when he leaves Villa, they get top dollar. We're talking top money because he's got that new contract, because he is such a talent. They can get real top dollar. So I think that's the reason why that new contract was signed. I don't think it's because, I don't think it's because he intended to necessarily stay. I think maybe it was so that if he were to go, that Villa are so financially stable and they can reinforce the squad for when he goes. I think that's the thinking behind it. Now, I could be way off the mark. I could be currently in Timbuktu right now. I don't think I am. I think if I was to put this into my shoes, so let's say Argyle are in the Premier League and I'm a world-class talent, and City, Chelsea, United, all of them people are in for me. What I would necessarily do is I would sign a new contract. Let's just say I was world class and all of that, and the money was being and the money was being offered for a new contract. I would take that contract, but sort of say I will want to leave, but by ensuring I sign this new contract, I'm ensuring that the club I love gets as much money as possible. So it is very smart. It is a very smart. It is a very smart move from Grealish and from Villa as well, by keeping him sort of on that new deal, ensuring that if he does go, they're getting top money. They're not getting ripped off, are they? They're getting real top money. So it's really gonna see. It's gonna be an interesting one. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I don't know what's gonna happen. Jack Grealish is worth £100 million in my opinion. Yeah, it's going to be somewhere around there, isn't it? It's going to be somewhere around there. I'd definitely agree with that. It's definitely going to be somewhere around that sort of money. Yeah. I don't think you'd want Kenny. Don't read the chat now. It's gone weird. Yeah, I know it's gone very weird. So I'm not going to read all the comments out because it is very weird. It just makes me wonder when it'll happen, because if it doesn't go soon, they aren't even going to have time to spend the money, although I guess they're already doing it in bits. Yeah, so Buendia, you've got Leon Bailey if they get both of them. I mean, the thing is, Villa can afford it. Villa can afford to get all these players in and still keep Grealish. Very well run, and don't forget, FFP has basically been ripped up by the courts, because when UEFA wanted to punish City, they managed to get out of it sort of legally. So I don't think there's much about this really, because Villa could actually keep him easily. So yeah, it is absolutely one of them. And if they do sell him, they're getting top dollar anyway, or they keep him, invest. I mean, you have to say Villa are definitely getting a shot for Europa League if they keep Grealish and get all of these get all these other players in. It would be very mad. Let me just turn my fan off, because absolutely, I'm getting freezing now. It's actually a nice heat at the moment. It's also nice not to hear the fan for once. Now Grealish said he's been a Villa boy for all his life and loves playing for the club. I've never doubted that. I've never ever doubted that Jack Grealish loves Aston Villa. Never have I doubted that. He absolutely does. Grow up, you uncultured swines. Yes, Max, you tell them. Mustafa says Ollie out. Villa ain't selling Grealish. G. Okay, G. Thank you. I mean, to be fair, they may not. It is reported. This is transfer talk. We might also talk about it. But, it could happen. It might not happen. We don't know. It's certainly an interesting one, isn't it? Oh, my Lord. Wrong comment. Mustafa is back. Dallo is finished. Why? What's he done now? Yeah, they defo could. It's just ambition. Surely he wants to win stuff. Has a bad season or injury-laden season, and those teams don't want him. His value goes down massively. And that's the risk, isn't it? The risk is you keep Grealish for the entire of his career. Plausible. Or you want to keep him for that extra year, ensure you get European football, but he gets injured, price goes down. I don't think you'll get a better price right now. I really don't. I think the money we're talking, 100 million, around about that. If you could get a bidding war with these lot as well, my Lord, if you could get a bidding war with Chelsea and City, absolutely take it, because they're going to start bidding way above each other. That increases the price. So Villa have to be very smart about this. They're not desperate for the money, that's for sure. They've got a very good owner. So we'll have to wait and see with this one. It is going to be an interesting one, though. That is for sure. Trippier in. Okie dokie. Yeah, Kenny, that definitely would never happen. I can absolutely assure you of that. Oh, crikey. Yeah, they hype over this guy. Can't go much higher, really, unless Villa do some mad things in the league. Yeah, I mean, if Villa were to go and win the league, Grealish's stock goes even higher. Doubtful that happens. Doubtful they even get into top four. I mean, every team barring Liverpool has improved. So, well, Liverpool brought in Konate, but that's about it. Kenny does make sense there. City are in legal issues, though. That is true. They are in legal issues. If those legal issues and that's the thing, you've got to be really careful now. Okay, if City do get punished by the Premier League, it makes it even harder for them. I agree Villa won't get a better price, but you can't put a price on his significance. We don't need money. I again, completely agree with you. It's more what Grealish wants to do. So if Grealish is adamant that he's done everything he can at Villa, wants to go and win a Premier League with one of those, with Chelsea or City, then I think it is time to let him go. If he says, no, I'm quite happy at Villa, I believe in the project, I believe in what we're sort of doing here, I think he'll stay. There are three options, really. It's very simple. he goes to Chelsea, he goes to City, he stays at Villa. Those are 3 options. Very much aware of. As I've said, Villa don't need the money. They've got a very good owner who will put money into the club. We're already watching that with Buendia and all of this other stuff. If they get Leon Bailey as well, that attack, my God, that is an attack of menace. That is going to cause issues for a lot of teams. But I do agree with you. He is a significant part of the Villa team. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on this one. Yeah, we all know Villa don't need the money. It's just holding back a player, in my opinion. You may win something, don't get me wrong, but he's got 2 serial winners after him. Take your pick, lad. Yeah, it's very difficult when you do get serial winners like a City, like a Chelsea. I mean, one of them is the English Premier League champions. The other one are champions of Europe. So you've got 2 really big clubs that are serial winners that want to win. It may be a bit difficult if they do turn his head. So, yeah. Right. I don't understand what's going on in the chat. You lot just keep being you. That's all I'll say. But still on the Villa topic, because the interesting bit is there's a lot happening around Villa. I mean, Villa, I think they've seen Leicester and gone, fuck me, I want some of that. And so, on to Leon Bailey. So, Aston Villa are now in direct contact with Bayer Leverkusen to reach an agreement for Leon Bailey. He is the main target, but it's not advanced yet. Now, some are suggesting this could be the replacement for Grealish, which absolutely it could be. It could also... Kenny, you're... right. 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 I'm confused. When I read the chat, you lot do confuse me sometimes. Back to what I was saying. Right, okay. Everyone just calm down in the chat. So, in terms of Leon Bailey, the fact that they're in direct contact with Bayer Leverkusen doesn't mean it'll get done straight away. But you would assume that Villa could potentially get something done. They have the money. They absolutely have the money. Are they interested? Yes. So you got to ask you got to ask a few questions before you say this could happen. Are Villa interested? Yes. Do they have the money? Yes. Are Villa an attractive proposition for Leon Bailey? Absolutely. What else? That's probably the 3 questions you want to ask. Is he available? Yeah, for the right price. Any player is available for the right price. We always know that. So Villa can afford him. He's available for the right price. Then direct contact. This absolutely could happen. I would be surprised if it doesn't. I mean, with the way Villa are acting right now, getting Buendia, getting all of these players in, they are genuinely. My respect for Villa is flying up, and I've always respected Villa. I mean, I remember being a kid, right? I was about 13, 14. And for 3 years in a row, we went on a school trip in the sort of summer. Not in the sort of summer, sort of during the season. And I actually went to Villa Park. I used to... So, you know where you got the dugouts? So you got the dugouts on there, and then you got the stand nearest to a dugout. So you got the sort of dugouts here, the stand over there. So you got the dugouts, the tunnel, the stand closest to a tunnel. I don't know if that's the whole end. I will have a look. I will Google it. Aston Villa Stadium. So what I need to do is I need to try and find what that end is called. Layout might be a good shout. Right. So, where is the dugouts on the Trinity side? Where are the north stand? Is it a north stand? Oh yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So I sat in the north stand. So yeah, a brilliant view as well. Really high up as well. And Villa have such a beautiful stadium. But I watched 3 games. Middlesbrough, Spurs. Might have been Newcastle actually. I remember watching those 3. Such a great atmosphere as well. Villa Park is electric for a Premier League game. I loved it. I absolutely loved it down that end. But yeah, since then I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Villa. Just like being an Argyle fan, I've got a soft spot for Brighton as well. But yeah, I will say Villa are moving mad at the moment. Beware. They genuinely could take Arsenal's place as well. Bailly would be a decent signing, to be fair. His stats are solidly 20 goals, assists last season. Ain't bad going. Young, exciting. But to me, points at Grealish going. Or it could point to Grealish moving centre, Bailly on the left, Wendy on the right, Watkins up front. I mean, if that happens, wow, that is insane. That would be so insane. Such an insane attack. Villa have the best fans in the league. Absolutely. So it was North Stand I sat in. Loving it. Loving it. No, the whole end is opposite of tunnels. So yeah, I sat in the North Stand then. Brilliant though. Man U need to go and get a CDM now. Favourite stadium in the Premier League. I've only ever been to Villa Park. I've never been to any of the other stadiums. I mean, obviously United's look. Old Trafford does look beautiful. Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium does look nice. Anfield atmosphere also looks all right. Stamford Bridge, I'm not keen on Stamford Bridge. It definitely needs sort of being made bigger. But I don't know if I like it. Villa Park, I do like Villa Park. I love the stadium. Very traditional. Villa Park is such a traditional sort of Premier League venue. It is such a good stadium as well. The FA used to use it all the time for FA Cup semi-finals. Villa Park was always used. It was Villa Park and Old Trafford, wasn't it? They were normally the 2 that would be used. Sometimes you'd head down to London, but Villa Park is a beautiful stadium. Do like it. Right, we're not talking Varane here. Issue of Bay is, does he want Europe? Surely Grealish decision has an impact also because it affects getting into Europe. Maybe not. I think even if Grealish were to lose, if Villa were to lose Grealish and replace him with Leon Bailey, now I'm not saying that's the perfect replacement. Absolutely not. You'd ideally want to keep Grealish. But I still think Villa, with their smart management, because I do rate Dean Smith, I really do. I think you could still get into Europe. I mean, look at West Ham. That squad should never been anywhere near it. Tottenham do not look good enough. The issue is we're so used to seeing the top 6 being United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs. We're so used to it. 2 of them are gone now. I don't think Arsenal and Spurs guarantee top 6 anymore. They used to be a couple of years ago. Don't get me wrong. They absolutely used to be. I don't think Spurs and Arsenal are guaranteed top 4 or top 6 anymore. Really don't think so. So that opens up the competition. So Leicester are going to be in that fight. Tottenham's in that fight. Arsenal's in that fight. Villa is in that fight. So you do all of that. I think the Europa League spots have been opened, and it is the Premier League. And if you get a Bailey, you also got Buendia, you got Watkins. If you can keep Grealish, I mean, it's an insane attack though. But I do agree with you. I do think keeping Grealish is absolutely needed. Should I do a PAFC career mode on FIFA now? Absolutely. To be fair, that's very true. Bailly is a top European player who did well in Europa last year, so surely doesn't want to sway from that. No, he would want guarantees of the project that is happening at Villa. He'd want guarantees, but I do also think the pull of the Premier League. We all know the Premier League is the biggest league in the world, right? We know that for facts. So I think if Leon Bailey were to sort of see that, way up options, hey, he easily could end up at Villa. Right. I think Leicester are well, no one's guaranteed anymore. Well, apart from the top 4, I think they'll always get top 6. Too much money. But no, I wouldn't say Leicester just yet, but they're slowly becoming very established up there, aren't they? But even if they were, that still leaves what, 3-4 teams fighting for the last spot. Then you got Europa Conference League as well, which I'm sure will be occupied by either Tottenham or Arsenal, one of the two. Let's talk briefly about Phil Jones. It's going to take an awful long time. Dean Jones Soccer saying, if Phil Jones is made available as a free agent, it is understood West Ham would be willing to offer a contract. That would be low in terms of a base contract, but with enticing add-ons when he makes appearances. Basically, they would give him a low base contract, so a low salary. But if he were to play, he could easily push that wage up. So that would make sense. You don't want to offer Phil Jones a huge contract because his injuries have been ridiculous. But I think offering him a low base contract with enticing add-ons, I think he may go for that. I mean, if he's released by United, which he very well could be, then why wouldn't he look at that option? I mean, why wouldn't he? He absolutely does need to. Now let's do a Let's Talk cook-off. I mean, maybe. Phil Jones to Brexit Maldini. Love it. Big up RJ. But yeah, Phil Jones would make sense. I think it could easily happen. And I suppose he does need that fresh start. I mean, he will never play for United again. Like, we know that much. Right now, in his way, is Lindelof, Bailly, Varane and Maguire. Even Will Fish probably is above Phil Jones. So Phil Jones will never play for United again. They ought to just release him. They ought to just do the right thing and just let him go. It's done. They should let him go 2 years ago instead of letting him have a 5-year deal. But, shit happens sometimes. And also, the last one to talk about, no, we're not doing a swap deal. That involves Jones and Rice. No. This is purely if he was to be made available as a free agent, West Ham would be willing to make an offer. It would be low contract, base contract, but with enticing add-ons. That's all that would happen. There is no talk. The United are going to add Phil Jones into a swap deal with Declan Rice. The only player I think they would do that with is Jesse Lingard, because you've had him. That's the only one I see that being done with. Don't worry, Phil Jones absolutely is not being part of a swap deal. That is just facts. Max got his new shirt. He's buzzing. Absolutely. So in terms of Newcastle, I'll put the link in straight after this. The Telegraph claims Tuanzebe could be Newcastle's first arrival this summer once that move has been finalised. The report states that talks have already begun between Newcastle and United, and that both a permanent and potential loan switch for a 23-year-old centre-back. However, due to the North London side's limited budget, the latter seems the most likely option. Tuanzebe appeared 18 times for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team last term, but he has failed to establish himself as a first-team regular and needs more action to continue his development. The former England, and he is a player that Steve Bruce knows already. The former England youth ace played under him twice during loan spells at Villa when they were in the Championship. Newcastle also have room for another centre defender. Would make a lot of sense. Tuanzebe needs game time. Every time I've watched Tuanzebe, I've been very impressed with him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a moron, so probably doesn't see what we're all seeing. He's looked very comfortable as centre-back on that left side. Newcastle need to start signing some players. I mean, we all know that much, don't we? So it's going to be really interesting in terms of what happens with Axel and see where we go with this. But so far, so good for Tuanzebe. I mean, if Tuanzebe can get that loan move, I think it just maybe it will make Ollie look more like a twat. You never know. But I really do believe in Axel Tuanzebe, and I also believe him to do a good job. But what I will do now is I am going to put the link into the chat. There we go. Link is in the chat. If you do want to come on, let me know. And that is a good one. So yeah, if you do want to come on, just click the link and have a good time, have a party. So they say. Also, you lot keep talking. There we go. Pin that. Sorted. But yeah, should be an interesting one. So, what are we talking about today? For anyone that doesn't know, we're talking Martinez to Arsenal, Grealish to Chelsea, Bailey to Villa, Phil Jones to West Ham, and Tuanzebe to Newcastle. But there we go. We are joined by Lewis. How are we doing, mate?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So, what did you want to talk about? I'm guessing you want to talk about Leon Bailey first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go for it. Honestly, I'd love it. I absolutely love it if he comes because he's quick. He's had a few very good teams in the Bundesliga, and I know the Bundesliga is a completely different story to the Premier League.
Yeah.
However, he has everything you want. He has pace.
Mm-hmm.
He's overall, I think he's a very good young player who's currently with the Jamaican team in the Olympics. I know that probably doesn't say that much about the player.
Mm-hmm.
But no, if he does come and if Grealish stays, all I'm going to say is our front four, our back, well, not back four, but if Grealish stays, that Grealish, Grundy and the Cam, Bailey on the right if we get Bailey, and then Watkins up front. I think that's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Getting by is a huge signal of intent as well, and it's not like you don't have the money. You've absolutely got the money.
Well, apparently they only want 35, so apparently.
Really, only that much.
Apparently, at the minute we're offering 30 at the minute. That's been rejected. I can easily see us going to 35. However, there is other Premier League competition to get Bailey. So not Bailey. Apparently Leicester won him, and I think Everton was the other team.
You'll beat Everton to him. Leicester might be difficult, but you'd definitely beat Everton to him.
Everton don't need it. They've just got Amos Townsend, who's just old, and they've just got Damari Gray as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, Everton, I don't know what's going on with Everton right now. We were all told this was going to be a brand new future. They're building a new stadium. Fuck knows what's going on with Everton. Obviously, we also know that one of their senior members of the playing staff has also been suspended. So God knows what's going to happen with Everton. I do hear that. We're also joined by Callie. Callie, talk to me about Arsenal and Martinez. I mean, could you even see that happening?
No, to be honest. When I saw it the other day off port, I literally tweeted about it and was saying, like, I can't even see where it's come from. I like the ambition. Don't get me wrong, I like the ambition, but where it come from, I don't know.
The Telegraph, apparently.
And how we possibly think we can attract him, I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I agree with that completely. What do you want to see Arsenal do this summer? So obviously we know you've got Ben White. We know you've brought in backup left back. We also know you brought in Lokonga. What else do you want to see Arsenal do this summer?
I think, like you said earlier, Aaron's would have been a great signing for us. I do think we need a right back. I think Bellerin's trying to go.
If I was Arsenal, I'd be more than willing to let Bellerin leave.
Oh, 100%. I don't like him at all. I don't think he's... I think he had a year where he looked as if he could be something. But recently he's been shocking. Can't put a cross in to save his life. He pops up with a goal every year. So I think we need a right back. I think we need a box-to-box midfielder. I think we need the goals. Joe Willock outscored all of our midfielders by himself last year whilst he was on loan at Newcastle. So I think we need goals from midfield. I personally would have sold Aubameyang in the summer, but I can understand why we haven't due to the climate and that. But I think he's got about a year left, and then I think we'll see a new striker as well.
Yeah, you definitely need to look at that replacement. There's all this talk that Lacazette might leave as well. I mean, he hasn't signed a new deal as well. So, I mean, both your sort of strikers, you do need to strengthen in that area. Balogun might come handy. I mean, Martinelli might get moved to striker. We don't know what Arteta's plan is with him. Although judging from what I've seen, Arteta really doesn't know players. So you could argue that he might end up playing Martinelli in goal because he appears clueless sometimes. I mean, I had this rant earlier. I mean, he wants a ball-playing centre-back who's actually quite good, who can progress the ball and pass the ball. You want William Saliba, hello, dickhead. Instead, you just spend 50 million on Rob Holding's twin brother. So I do fear for Arsenal. And when I said that the top six, Arsenal and Spurs, were no longer guaranteed in it, I stand by my comment.
No, I agree. I do agree.
Arsenal and Spurs are no longer guaranteed top six anymore. I mean, Arsenal's finished out of top six for 2 times in a row now. You only got Europa League because of the FA Cup last year or season before that. So a lot of issues at Arsenal at the moment. Devon says, why did Martinez get his move to Barcelona stopped over a year ago? No idea. Arsenal are a shambles of a club. They won't be anywhere close to top 6. We should do a stadiums tier list now. Let's talk Premier League stadiums. We don't need to rename the entire channel just to do a tier list on stadiums, can we? But yes, that's already in my... Kenny, what happens in the Late Show? I have ideas. But we're joined by RJ as well. RJ, what did you want to talk about?
I mean, I'd say a few things. The Villa wanting Bay, I think, was kind of interesting to say the least. I mean, you're looking at a very, very young, talented winger, especially if you do keep Jack Grealish, you could be having one of the most threatening attacks in the Premier League, quite frankly. I mean, by Grealish, Buendia, and Watkins. So, I mean, like I said, it's looking very good, to be fair, for Villa if they do get it done. Obviously, like I said, you did say that Chelsea are competing to get the transfer of Jack Grealish against Man City. I don't think Grealish will go to either club. I think he'll stay. I think that's one of the reasons why Villa will get European football next season. And that's why they will probably be part of the top 6 and kicking Arsenal and Spurs out with the help of Leicester. Look, other than that, I mean, look, it's clear as day for United. I'm going to move to Tuanzebe. I mean, look, yeah, Tuanzebe needs some game time. Yeah, he has the potential to be a great defender. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, I mean, we really have to decide how he does this season. If he does go to Newcastle, he gets some games. He will probably play with Lascelles, let's say, if I'm not wrong. I
bet you he rips up the Premier League and makes Ollie look like a twat. Guaranteed.
I don't know about that. I mean, he will be playing
against... The two games he played, the few games he played towards back end of last season for United, he looked like your best centre back. He looked better than freaking Lindelof. Not hard, but I think Ollie's an absolute. Ollie is clearly tactically a class A wanker. Now has absolutely no idea what Ollie tactically is. It's like trying to ask a blind man to make you a cake. It's not going to work very well. He can't see it.
I mean, look, you can say that now.
In fact, Ollie might just be a blind man who can't see the match. Maybe he's just all audio. He listens to it on the radio.
Look, you could say that now, and you've some points I can back you up. But do know this, right? The fact that if it wasn't for Ollie, Luke Shaw would not be the best left back in the world right now. If it wasn't for Ollie,
Okay,
I mean,
if it weren't for Ollie, Bruno Fernandes wouldn't have been burnt out at the end of the season.
no, that's down to United's poor squad depth.
No. Hold up
Yes.
a minute. You could have easily played Donny there. You got Mata
played
on the
Donny.
books. What
No.
against a West Brom? Well, I suppose you drew against West Brom, but you know what I mean. Against the lesser teams, why couldn't you play a Donny? Why couldn't you play a Juan Mata? I'm sure Juan Mata's got one game in him a month. I'm sure he's got that in his leg still. Or 60 minutes, 70. You have depth. I mean, you could have even switched to formation and played with a 4-3-3 and had or done something. Played Donny in the 10.
No, yes, but listen,
you did have that depth. I mean, Rashford was less Ollie, but you know.
This is what I say about it. Like, yeah, sure, I do understand. We do have good squad depth. I understand that to a certain degree, but you do understand, right? Donny van de Beek comes straight from the Netherlands. He comes straight. He's no clue how the Premier League is.
Bruno came straight from Sporting Lisbon.
But Bruno is 27 years old right now. Donny van de Beek 22, 23. So the bit of an age difference. Like I said, Donny hasn't done it all, or hasn't really played at the highest of levels for a very long time.
So Donny can't play. Donny can't play one game against a Sheffield United or a West Brom.
The physicality between, say, playing, AZ Alkmaar versus playing, West Brom is completely different now.
Donny van de Beek tore up the Champions League the season.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
No, but the thing is, right? Yeah.
Played Tottenham.
Oh, listen, right? The reason why, like I said, you look at the talent he had with in that squad at Ajax. He had talent
the United squad had more talent. You are right.
Yeah, no, but listen, what I'm telling you is, right, you're saying to play him against teams like West Brom, right? I'm just going to say this now. His physicality is nowhere near what the Premier League standard is like. It's true. He will get picked apart.
Okay, so you're okay. What about Juan Mata then? He's played in the Premier League proven. Why can't he play again? He's also smart enough.
His legs are going.
So Juan Mata can't play one game a month. Get rid of him then.
We should be getting rid of him. He should be going to the La Liga or Serie A, in my opinion. Same with Matic. Like I said, in the game today, they were burnt out. I don't know how you got burnt out against a team like Brentford, but you got burnt out. And like I said, the last 20 minutes, we literally played some very good football. Why? Because we had so many youngsters on the pitch who actually made the game look more interesting for us.
So instead of what you could have done is you could have put Bruno on the bench and had Juan Mata start. So against West Brom, so you could have. So you shouldn't need Bruno for West Brom. It is only West Brom. So you'd start Juan Mata. Well, yeah, but even without Bruno, RJ, a club like Manchester United should not be worried about beating West Brom. That's the thing. Never.
That's the thing. The Premier League is the best league in the world with the best team.
No. RJ. A club like Manchester United. Do you know what? That's how far United standards have dropped. Because under Fergie, West Brom was easy pickings. That game,
obviously, because we had the best manager in the world. We had a manager who literally played. We didn't have any centre backs and said, "Fuck it." Play the midfielders.
You're saying Sam Allardyce is a better manager than Ollie?
I never said that. I said that you're comparing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to a manager like Fergie. You can't.
No, I'm okay. I'll compare Manchester United to West Brom. Which club is better?
Obviously, United.
Which club has more? Which club has more depth?
I would say Manchester United. Yes.
So, in theory, even if you were to rotate slightly, I'm not saying heavy rotation. I'm saying take out Bruno, put in Mata.
But the thing is, it's all about styles. You have to understand the fact that the way that West Brom play, right? They play dirty, obviously because of Big Sam. Not anymore because they're not even in the Premier League.
One Mata's never come across a dirty team ever.
I mean, if I could picture a team, let me think.
He's played in the Premier League. He's come across dirty teams. Back when Kyle Walker
has been
Yeah, Juan Mata's been in the Premier League for over 10 years.
Yeah, like I said, he should be gone. I would sell Juan Mata right now.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
what I'm saying is you could take out Bruno for 70 minutes, put in Juan Mata. If it ain't working, Bruno's got 20 minutes come on as an impact. Fresh Bruno, might I add. There was rotation available. It's like when you were 4-0 up or 5-0 up against Real Sociedad, you did not need to start Rashford or Bruno, but he did. When you were, how you even got so close to being knocked out by Roma after that lead from Old Trafford, I'll never know. But you should have been able to rotate there.
Yeah,
Ollie had the opportunities to rotate. And also, in the final, he was tactically wrong. He'd made no substitutions until God knows when. He also chose Eric Bailly instead of Tuanzebe, even though in the couple of games that Tuanzebe had played with Lindelof, Tuanzebe looked a lot better than Bailly, and Lindelof looked more comfortable next to Tuanzebe. Also, this is the same Tuanzebe that managed to pocket Mbappe. The Manchester United fans like to keep reminding everyone about.
Look, there was mistakes, obviously. Everyone makes mistakes. You look at Pep Guardiola, best manager in the world, but he literally didn't play a CDM against Chelsea. And newsflash, they lost, right? They all make mistakes.
And did I go in for Pep after he lost that final? I did.
Yes. Yeah, so did I. And we always will. That's what I'm saying.
I keep it consistent.
Yeah, I do.
Right now, Ollie needs to sort his shit out, because if he doesn't,
how?
What?
Look at the town that we're getting right now, right? We got Varane. We're getting CDM eventually. We got Sancho. Right?
You're looking at CDM. So you got Sancho and Varane.
More than likely, we'll get it done. I mean, the fact that we got the Varane deal done in that time is incredible, to say the least. Mm-hmm. Usually, we don't get those deals done that easy.
No, I agree.
And I said, you got to give credit to John Murtaugh. Like I said, ever since he came in, he's been a big impact. He's definitely done his work, and he's definitely done the business for us. So big up to him.
So Ollie has to go and win something now. There's no excuses. There's no hiding place.
Of course, yeah, win something. And I think this is our best best chance right now to win a Premier League, in my opinion.
And if he doesn't win,
a Prem, I mean,
but if he don't win anything, he needs to be sacked.
More than likely, yes. More than likely, yeah.
More than likely.
But look, it depends, right? If we get to, let's say we get to every final. We get to Champions League final. We're 2 points off first place. Let's say we get unlucky this season. Would you consider that a bad season? Where we just get to the final and then we just ball it in the end?
Well, if you got to a final of absolutely fucking everything and still walked away with no trophies, I'd be. Yeah, do it. In fact, I'd be very fucking concerned.
I don't
because
know.
that is what that would be 3 finals. So that would be now 4 finals. Ollie's bowled.
4 finals.
And the league title. I mean, to not walk to get to 3 finals in one season and not to win one single trophy, I'd be very concerned. I'd almost say that is sackable in itself. Almost.
Manchester Hotspur.
It would not go well for Ollie if that were to happen.
Like I said, this is what I would say, right? If Ollie had to win the Premier League this season, arguably would be our best chance, because, like I said, Chelsea need a striker. They're trying to buy Haaland. Haaland does not want to go for 175 million. He's even said that, and you've even said as well, like a good point. He doesn't want that pressure on him. I don't think anyone wants 175 million pressure on top of you. No one does, right? City. They're still going legal action with the Premier League, potentially getting point deductions. If they do get point deductions, you can kiss their chances goodbye. Liverpool, I mean, squad depth, African Cup of Nations. Need I say more?
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, and Ollie can get it done. We came second last season, so 4-3-2-1. It's gonna happen, boys. Genuinely.
But it's more of a 4-3-3 apparently, according to some reports, but. You need a DM for that. If you
I didn't say position. No, I didn't say position. I mean, in the league, I said we came 4th, then 3rd, then 2nd. This year has to be number 1.
Oh yeah, well
Surely.
that is also a formation that Ollie has played with 4-2-3-1. But
Oh yeah, funny enough.
so for
Or
me,
oh.
well yeah, 4-3-2-1, whatever.
You can call it 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, whatever it is. I mean, Ollie or Pamela wants to move to a 4-3-3, and if you do that, you have to get a DM because you ask Fred or McTominay to play as a lone DM, you're fucked. In fact, I will literally record your matches and then replace the Premier League logo with the logo from Comedy Central because watching that midfield would genuinely be Comedy Central.
But like I said, I personally, and I'll just say this now, I wouldn't go for Ndidi, Rice, or Zakaria, Dennis Zakaria. Wouldn't.
Who are you going for then?
I'd either take Saul or Neves.
Not a DM.
Those are the only two. They are.
Neither of them are Witcher or DM. I mean, never. Nah, Saul is what?
He is.
Box to box. I mean, he's not a DM.
The only reason he was a box to box is because he played two at the back, but in Spain he was a CDM.
No idea what times the shows will be, mate. I haven't got a clue. I haven't worked that much through. I mean, Saul is absolutely not a DM. He is more box to box. I mean, for me, you should want Rice. You'd be an idiot not to want. Why would you not want Rice?
Because West Ham want 100 mil from him.
Right. So RJ, have you ever heard of what a negotiation looks like?
Yes, and you know the West Ham manager, not managers, the owners. The owners are just as stubborn as fucking Daniel.
Well, I thought Daniel Myrtle was doing a Myrtle class.
He is, but I don't want to sign fucking Declan Rice. The same player who's
even if you took 50 million and Jesse Lingard, that seems like a very good deal for me.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't want him. No way.
Why?
For a guy who legit was
if you're about to banter him, just what attributes does he lack then for Manchester United?
Well, like I said, I'll say why I wouldn't take him. Right, first off, people said he was going to be the fucking second coming of Christ, and then Phillips plays better than him.
So that's not an attribute, RJ. That's other people.
Listen, he's not as good.
But you've yet to name me an attribute that Declan Rice doesn't have that would make you afraid of getting him.
I'll just say this now, right? I will present you with everything I have tomorrow, right? But this is what I will tell you.
But surely if he was that bad, you'd have an attribute you could tell me now. Surely, I can name one attribute that would deter me, but it wouldn't deter me majorly.
No, it's because he left Ireland for England. I think that's why.
Okay, Kenny, I'm basing this on how I have as I've seen him in Euros, right? He's not as good as people say. Nowhere near.
Name me one attribute that he does not have to be a defensive central midfielder at Old Trafford.
One attribute.
I've got one attribute that I could easily say, but I'm not saying it until you actually tell me an attribute.
What's that word? Hold on. I'm trying to find the right word. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Oh, he's Googling on Twitter.
Whilst RJ's looking at Football Manager for the
No.
Ross says 100% look at how much people were talking shit about Chelsea after we lost the FA Cup, saying if we lost Champions League, the season would become a massive failure. Absolutely. I'll give you something to Declan Rice from his 90. Look, I know something. Look. I can name you what the attribute is that would deter me, but it wouldn't deter me massively because I would negotiate the price down because that's what good negotiators do.
Lingard. We have Lingard. They want Lingard.
Yeah, exactly. You do have one of the biggest things they also want.
Well, here. The word I would use, for me, right? I wouldn't say that Rice is dynamic for United, right? Compared to other, like I said, yes. So what I mean is, right, to the point where I'd say like this, right? So, look, I just wouldn't take him, right, personally.
Right. So we're talking dynamic.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let me see what Google search you've done.
No, I was just using a word for synonym. So
Right. There we go.
Let's see.
Right. So when you're on about dynamics, are you on about the tactical, the player movement, or ball movement?
I'd say for Rice, I'd say more ball movement. I'd say because
ball movement. So passing. Right. So instead of googling something, you could have just said passing because you're absolutely. Because you're absolutely right. His passing is shocking, right? So, Devon says we don't want Rice. You can me passes sideways, never goes forward. There was a reason I didn't actually put this up. Right? I wasn't ignoring it. I was always going to go back to it because it was the correct answer. Declan Rice doesn't make enough forward passes. That is just facts, right? We know that. So, he's also 21 years old, isn't he?
And your point is what?
Right, cool. So what I'm saying is he's not even anywhere close to his prime, right? So a good a good coach can coach forward passing. Forward passing is very easy to coach. It's a tactical mindset. So you could easily teach Declan Rice how to pass the ball forwards. He's never been in a team that maybe requires him to do that too much. West Ham are not a team that is going to require you to make bombing forward passes left, right, and centre. So, what do? Well, simply, you teach him. You look at everything he's good at. Interceptions, very good. Tackling, very good. Sitting in front of that defence and protecting them, very good. Also, you're putting him next to Paul Pogba or Donny and Bruno, right? If you do move to his 4-3-3. So a short pass to Bruno or Donny shouldn't be too far away from him, right? So he'll have the basics to be able to look for those passes. And as I say, if you teach them well enough, they'll be able to do it. Now, the question is, do United have the coaches to teach forward passing? Well, you do have Michael Carrick, but
we don't need that though.
Michael Carrick passed the ball sideways and backwards more than freaking Declan Rice does anyway.
He should be able to chuck it. He should be able to teach you how to do a forward pass, even if he couldn't do it. I could teach you how to do a forward pass, and I'm not even a football coach. Like, it is basics. I mean, although United and set pieces last season, we won't go into that. But no,
we've turned around for that, so yeah.
So do you? Okay, that's fine. But do you think that just because he doesn't have one attribute, that should deter you from completely signing him?
Well, look, not like so. First, price tag, passing, and I'd say third strike is the fact he's a fucking massive licker to Mason Mount. So, look, listen. Let him be happy.
So because he's best mates with Mason Mount, right?
I'd argue more than best.
Well, you can argue all you want. I mean, there's no video proof yet.
I can find them.
Well, do you know what? Send it to me. That'll be fair. That'll be fairly interesting because I have said that there is a sex tape not too far away from being released for them to. It's just clear. You are right. They do get on very well. They've also known each other since they were kids. So of course he does have that affection with Mason Mount. That's completely normal. I don't think you should be deterred away from that. Of course. And it's always been said, same with Camavinga, by the way, that if Chelsea and United were to put in an offer for Declan Rice, he would absolutely pick Chelsea. Not only has he come through the Chelsea Youth Academy, but he's also great friends with Mason Mount, right? So, that is one thing.
Plus, they won't be getting him in this one. Yeah.
Sorry, say again?
They won't be getting Rice because they're getting Koundé, so...
But exactly, they are looking at different things. They're also looking at Tchouameni. Do I think Rice would improve United? Yes, of course he would. He's a DM. You don't have one. So right now, you can't really be too fussy either. You could have got Fabinho, but you sort of let him go to Anfield, which, was a poor mistake. Because United were heavily linked to him at the time.
Mhm.
I do think that, yes, Declan Rice does have limitations, just like any young player does. Do I think Declan Rice's limitations should deter you away from completely signing him? No, I don't. I think with the right coaching, Declan Rice could become easily one of the best central defensive midfielders in the league. He just needs that coaching. He needs that training. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I do hear you, though. Devon saying, I love that Niall didn't show my comment about the passing. He knows it's true. Absolutely. I did. But I want to go back to it. Also, Max says 3 away from 370, and that means 3 away from 400. So let's all hit that sub and like the streams. Absolutely. Please do. Ross says he's poor at long balls, always makes short, simple passes. That's the only real issue with him and his price tag. So with that, I don't really, if you're playing a 4-3-3, I don't really know if I want Declan Rice pinging long balls left, right, and centre. I'd much rather he fed a short ball to Bruno and allowed Bruno to ping long passes across the Old Trafford pitch. I just think that'd be a bit more sensible.
Yeah, look, I'd say like if we brought in say Ruben Neves, who will be a lot cheaper, and I'd say better for us because, like I said, what he can do is he can take long shots. He can definitely hit it out to people like Sancho, Greenwood.
FYI, I don't want my DM taking long shots. They're a defensive midfielder for a fucking reason.
If he can do it, he can do it. Don't.
I don't want. I don't know where this whole idea of
listen, I'm not saying that he should. I'm just saying he's able to. That's what I'm saying. He won't. He probably won't when he's playing for United because he would say, "Get the fuck back to the fucking goals." But like I said, what I will tell you is, like I said, we need a CDM partially because of the fact that if we do get a CDM, it means that Shaw, Wan-Bissaka can move forward. They can get up to the box and potentially cause some more havoc. Right, that's just how it is. Obviously, Varane is a great asset that we have right now, and potentially, like I said, he could be very influential towards other players as well. Like I said, he's done it all: World Cup, 4 Champions Leagues. What does he need to do? I said, so simple as that.
Big up to Mark as well.
Fair play. That's what I'm telling you. Genuinely, I would literally say that we're 1 CDM away from winning the Prem. 1 CDM.
I hear that. So Russ has got this comment, and yes, Liam, I am up for that. The thing is, we are new formation. We need to play a 4-3-3 and someone who can ping long balls on the counter. Declan can't do that. No, but he could do a simple pass to Bruno, who could equally do that. And also, United. It appears that United want to move away from this counter-attacking style. So if you're going to dominate the ball, having Declan Rice there is not a problem. He'll do a short, simple pass to someone better to be able to do that long ball, whether that be Pogba or Bruno. Trust me, if I was United and I have Declan Rice as a DM, I'm asking him to do a short, simple pass to Pogba or Bruno to allow them to start pinging the ball across the place because they're much better at it. Neves is nowhere near as good as defensively RJ, and if you want to play Pogba Bruno, then you need someone like Declan. And this is the thing. You don't need to just look what they can do in terms of going forward. You need to look at what they can do going backwards. And Neves is not good enough going backwards. That's just facts.
I mean, I'd rather say than Zakaria than fucking Rice. He'd be a lot fucking cheaper.
So. It's all about money. Is it your money?
I'm just saying, like I said, it'll be the money that we'll have next season that'll fucking affect it. If we're spending big money like this on players like Rice.
But if you're 1 DM and Rice is a DM away from winning the Premier League, does that not offset the costs already?
I don't know. I personally think Rice for us will not be the player that we want.
No, you just don't want Declan Rice because he turned Ireland down and went to England.
No, I literally said to you why I didn't want him.
Well, I asked for one attribute. You said dynamics, and I asked you which dynamic it was. It is true, but you could have just said passing.
I know, but like I said, I don't really targeted passing. It's just like I said, his energy that he brings also to the field. Like I said, you look at West Ham, he doesn't have to bring energy. No, he doesn't. You look at
Right.
You look at West Ham. Who does all the work? Souček, because he's the box-to-box man. He literally runs like an absolute madman. Then who does the attacking? Jesse Lingard last season. I'm tired.
Right, RJ, do you need help in explaining what the defensive midfielder role is?
I know what it means. Yes, but like
do we need to really crack? Do we need to really crack out the basics here?
No.
The defensive midfielder does not bring energy. That's not his job. The defensive midfielder sits in front of the two centre backs.
Yes, I know.
Intercepts the ball and recycles possession. That is literally what the DM does. So why, in God's name, do you want the DM bringing energy? That's what your two. That's what your Pogba and Bruno should be bringing, the energy.
But this is what I'm telling you, right? You look at the Euros, right? Good example of how he's playing. If fucking Phillips is outworking him in every single game, there's literally
Phillips, right? That's because
they're both CDMs. They're both CDMs.
No. So Phillips was playing more box to box with England, and Declan was doing the more sitting. It was very similar to how West Ham had it. Souček doing the more of the energy work, the more of the sort of transitions. Declan Rice sitting in front of the defence. England and Gareth did exactly the same. Phillips would be going forward, bringing that energy. Declan would sit in front of the defence. We also only conceded 2 goals in the entire Euro. So, defensively, he was very, very good. Of course, there was limitations, but he wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Why don't United look at Basuma as an option? Basuma's a good option, but you probably
a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
The same.
Brighton are definitely going to ask for quite a nice bit of money. I mean, if they've charged 50 million for Ben White, they're probably charging 50 million for Basuma.
They reportedly won 60 million for Basuma when we could just get right at 50 million plus Lingard, and that's deal done.
It's not like
where did you hear that? Where did you hear that, mate?
What, the Basuma?
No, not Basuma. No, Rice. Where did you hear that?
Oh, right. See, it's just common knowledge. West Ham absolutely love Lingard and would love Lingard back.
But they've already said that no person will be involved in the deal.
Right. So have you ever heard of what a negotiation looks like, RJ?
I do know what a negotiation.
So you negotiate it. You literally walk up to them. You put the offer on the table. Bring them to the table. You sit them at the table. Then you start doing all the talking.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you if your club was smart enough, you could pick up Rice for 50 million plus Lingard, maybe 60. You're not paying more than 60 though. I bet you could easily do that if there was negotiations.
Rice also thingy. There was this thing about him being mad about West Ham if they declined a 60 million offer. Now 60 million plus Lingard, that's worth more than 60 million. So they would definitely accept that.
Exactly.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see because, like I said, they've said the price.
Devon says, "I've never heard of him. Never heard of him."
Interesting to say the least.
I think Pogba will actually be here this season. He hasn't signed a new deal yet, and we won't let him go for free. You might not have the option. Might simply just refuse every contract put in front of him and refuse to leave.
He wants 400k. That's what he says. He just wants.
Yeah, but
he's not worth it.
He could, if he wants to run his contract down. Paul Pogba has all of the power now. Paul Pogba is full of the power. So all the power over United. Phillips is an anomaly. Good luck finding anyone with that work rate that high. He also works in Bielsa's team, and Bielsa, you don't get into Bielsa's team without playing with playing high energy. When you're playing it with one pivot like Rice, he doesn't need to have mad passing range, just mainly needs to mop up. And that is his job. That would be his job. His job would be, if the ball was to even get past Bruno and Pogba, which it will sometimes, they then become confronted with, "Hi, I'm Declan Rice, I'm going to take that ball off you." And then Declan Rice looks for the simple pass, To which, if the players are playing the formation right, Bruno or Pogba should be moving around and should be available to recycle that possession before they do a long pass to either Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, Cavani, whoever. That is what their job would be in the 4-3-3. A lot like Fabinho. Fabinho doesn't need to have high energy. Fabinho just needs to, if the ball gets past them two, hello, I want that ball back. Thank you. Recycle possession, go again. That's what you want the DM doing. The DM job is such a simple job. It's virtually a centre-back. What you want is a centre-back. Ideally, you want a centre-back who can pass a simple ball. Declan Rice could do that. He could easily get a Pogba or Bruno, recycle possession, go forward.
But if that's all we need, we can literally sign someone for less. There's way more talent out there.
What you need is you need a DM. You name Neves. Neves isn't the best defensively, so you can rule him out of the question. Basuma again, more box to box on a DM. Declan Rice is a 21. So Declan Rice is a 21-year-old proven Premier League player now. He's played in the Premier League for quite some time. He's also nowhere near his prime. He's got 5 years till he hits his prime. With the right coaching, with the right sort of people around him, he absolutely could end up being a world-class central defensive midfielder. So with all of that in mind, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to go for Rice, or why Rice is completely out of the question no matter what. It just seems odd.
I just wouldn't say, like I said, it's just not my type of player that I want at United. Simple.
Because he turned down Ireland?
No. I literally said who I wanted.
What type of player do you want, RJ? What type of player do you want?
Like I said, I've seen players like Dennis Zakaria from Mönchengladbach. We've been rumours for him over a year, and quite frankly, I'd love to take him with United.
There's no rumours about him. There's no rumours about him at all.
There was.
No credible rumours.
They died out, though.
Might have been really Daily Star.
But I mean, look, the Saul fucking agreement died out a year ago, but they came back up again. It can happen. So
the Saul thing happens every year.
So
yeah,
how do you spell Zakaria's name?
So Dennis, Dennis, and then Zakaria. Oh shit!
Right, 1 minute. Zak.
Zakaria, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mönchengladbach.
There we go. Dennis Zakaria. Name me another DM you'd like.
I mean, the one
you
that
said
Devin
Saul, didn't you?
With Saul, maybe, yeah. Like I said, Saul done.
You said Saul.
Yeah, like I said, Saul would do the job. He would just as much as thing. Plus, he's only 26 as well, so.
Cool.
You know.
And
then I would say, who's that other book that Devin said? Wilmar Barrios. I've heard of him, like I said, but I haven't seen too much of him.
Barrios.
The earliest thing I've seen on Zakari.
Devin put in the chat. Wilmar. Oh, jeez. And then
Wilmar Barrios. Wilmar Barrios, right. Okay.
That's what he was recommending.
So you got them. Any others that you'd like to put in?
I mean, we'll stick for 3 for tonight. Like, I mean,
any others you'd like to put in?
What about Ndidi?
I'll chuck Declan Rice in there.
Ndidi will be way too much, man. You know Leicester, man. They will charge way too much. They said 80 million for Maguire. How much do you think they're going to sell for buddy Ndidi, like, who's literally a starter for them for the last 3 years or 2 years, whatever you want to say?
The last thing I've seen for Zakari was in October, so actual credible thing we're interested, apart from the opinion-based ones.
Right, so we want passes. Pass accuracy is always a good one to have. Chuck a long pass accuracy, why not? Loving it. Forward passes. Oh, RJ, you are dumb for you, mate. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about what's going to happen to you now. This is not going to be pretty. I do apologize. You want that. You want that. Oh, God. Right. What else? Right. That. And that. Oh God. This is, as I said, I apologize profusely. So, we've got that up. Right. So let me just share my screen. Right. So you said, right. So you said about his forward passing. You said, right. Let me just do it per 90. Okay. Right. So is per 90, right? So just in case you haven't, it is per 90. So per 90, his pass accuracy is basically the same as Barrios. Don't forget, this is Declan Rice in the Premier League, right? Okay, long pass accuracy, not great, but it's still better than Saul and Zakaria, right? So, you know, forward passes, yes, of course, Barrios does more forward passes. Also plays for Zenit in the Russian Premier League. So, again, do take that in mind. But Rice does more than Saul, more than Zakaria. Aerial duels, he is better than them all. Ground duels, he's okay, he's behind Barrios, but still better than Saul and Zakaria. Clearances, Zakaria wins that, but Rice is pretty much on par with them. Interceptions, he's joint top with Barrios. He's much better intercepting the ball than Saul, and just a little bit better than Zakaria. And blocks, he's pretty much on par with them. So looking at them, yeah, of course you'd say Barrios, but which one of them have played in the Premier League?
And also the fact that Barrios,
which one has played in the Champions League?
Okay, so
answer
my question first.
Yeah,
who's played in the Premier League?
Rice has played. Rice has played in the Premier League.
So, which one won't need to adapt to the Premier League?
Well, what do you mean? Barrios has played in the Champions League at the highest of levels. So
had Donny van der Beek, but you said he wouldn't be able to do the physicality of the Premier League.
But looking at those stats from Barrios, he clearly will be if he comes to United.
Yeah, but he plays for the best.
No. So he plays for the best team in the Russian Premier League.
If he plays,
right. So
and Donny played for the best team in Ajax,
and he also helped Zenit. When he went to the Champions League, he also helped Zenit get knocked out in 4 twice.
Actually, that's the wrong champion. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's right. Champions League. Not bad. I was just messing around with some things. At the end of the day, you'd assume that Rice would be a good shout to have. The website mark is Squawka. So I will put it in the chat for you. I can't even spell right now. Squawka. There you go. I've put the spelling in the chat for you, bro. The thing about Barrios, we would get him for 25-30 million max. How old is Barrios? Oh, Barrios is 27 years old.
So, and you're looking at a town like
right. So
we have a young town called Garner waiting to come through. So even better.
Cool. So you got Declan. You got Declan Rice that is 22.
Yeah.
Already played in the Premier League, and if this is your best season, you're going to want someone Premier League proven that doesn't need adaptability time. You got Barrios, who has played in the Russian Premier League. Carry on.
I mean, look, you look at our first 10 games. I mean, if you can't adapt in the first 10 games, there's no hope for you.
But Donny couldn't play against.
But
Donny couldn't play against West Brom and Albion because he needed time to adapt because of the physicality.
Look, this is what. Because the thing is, which do you think is rougher now, the Russian league or the Dutch league?
What, the Russian league with Zenit St. Petersburg? I don't think it's going to be very rough at all.
And also,
I'd say
No, because I just don't think the players in the Russian Premier League are going to be as good as the Premier League. And also, if you want to go down that route,
Yeah,
the Dutch League is pretty
and
physical.
good and physical are two different things now. Good and physical are two different.
The Dutch League is you do realise the Dutch League actually do tackle as well. They are quite physical over there as well.
Yeah, I do understand that. Yes,
Cool.
but like I said, physicality wise,
So
it does not
what's
match
what?
the Premier League.
So
Exactly.
you're absolutely correct. It doesn't match the Premier League. So what's the difference between getting in Wilmar Barrios right now to play in the most physical part of the pitch, which is DM, right, compared to putting Donny in the cam role? What's the difference? Apart from age, if you bring up age, I'll flip.
well, since that you mentioned, no, I'm messing. No, look, this is what I would say about Donny. Yes, rightfully so. I would have played him. Like I said, I know, obviously, physicality wise and all that crap, but I would probably play him against different teams, not West Brom. Right? Maybe Sheffield United would have been a lot better for him.
I was using them as an example.
I know.
I picked one shit team and ran with it. You can assume he could have played any of the teams in the bottom six, and you should have got a good result.
Yeah, understandable. Yes. Like I said, I don't know. I think just the way it was, I think all they trusted the McFred process, and obviously Bruno had to start realistically, because you even said yourself, if Bruno didn't start, he would probably shoot someone at the case. You mean?
Yeah, but that's when the manager should step in and go, "No, I'm resting you because I need you for later on in the season." Manager of Bulls does that.
I mean, look, I understand that. I agree, but look, it worked to a certain degree. We came second.
Well, no, it didn't.
Got to the European final.
You lost the Europa League final because he was shattered. He was shit in the Euros because he was shattered.
Sure. I mean, you could make an argument point that he wasn't the worst player in that Portugal squad. He was just very.
I'm not saying he was. I'm not saying he was the worst player. I'm saying that he was tired by the end of the season, and he did play like shit in the Europa League final. Yeah. He was certainly shit.
Yeah, no, obviously in the Europa League final he was burnt out, and I agree with that. Yes, it's just like I said, that was last season. We move forward. I guess hopefully all he's learned his lesson. He's probably hopefully he
you'd hope so. You would hope so. Read my comment, mate. What one, Liam? I genuinely can't get League One kits.
To be fair,
the reason why, mate, is it 14 maker? I've no idea. Message me on Twitter later and we'll go through it. Agent Rafa could influence Pogba to sane. He could, absolutely. That could sway. I agree with you now. We play 50 million plus Lingard and deal is done. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Big up to Dylan in the chat as well.
Hello.
Russia tax. To be fair, some of the teams in the Russian league are decent, not compared to.
They're not.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not. Like who? Name me one.
Dynamo Moscow, Champions League right now.
Who the fuck are they?
Moscow, mate, that's the worst team in Moscow.
Okay.
You're saying they are, but they're in the Champions League this season, lads.
It's
so
okay.
We could potentially be playing them.
Tottenham were in
They're
the
Champions League.
Rangers are in the Champions League. Rangers are in the Champions League. Doesn't make them a great team. Yeah, they won the SPL.
Yeah.
That doesn't secures you.
Well, okay, they've got to go through the qualifiers, but it's still Champions League qualifiers.
Finished 7th last season. How would they ever be in the?
So the one he's on about is CSKA Moscow. If you had said them, I would have known exactly who you're on about. Yeah, you said Dynamo Moscow. I was just about to say, who the fuck
I don't
are
know.
they? I've heard of Dynamo Zagreb. I've heard of Dynamo Zagreb, but I've not heard of Dynamo Moscow. CSKA Moscow, they're good. Anyone
There's
else?
only 2 teams in the Russian Champions League, according to this. It's Zenit and Spartak Moscow. Dynamo Moscow finished 7th. I don't know how they're in the. How they think you think they're in the Champions League?
He's obviously just got the first name wrong. But no, what I'm saying is look, Declan Rice is Premier League proven. Declan Rice is younger with a higher ceiling, and with the right coaching, he's exactly what you need. And also, aerial duels, you have had a major issue of corners. Wouldn't it be good to get another person in there who can do aerial duels?
I understand that, yeah, but what do you do with Garner or any other CDM we potentially have going through?
Ever heard of this? Rotation, RJ. Rotation.
Yeah,
Why not? How do you think Conte fits? Not Conte. How do you think Tuchel fit all of his midfielders in? It's this beautiful thing called rotation. Is James Garner going to be world class? Maybe. Declan Rice going to be world class? Maybe. Could you rotate them both, say get adequate game time? Absolutely.
Okay,
How do you think Man City won the Premier League? By rotating pretty much everyone on a regular basis. I mean, the only one who didn't get rotated was Edison, but that's because he's in goal.
And Kevin De Bruyne, to be fair, until he got injured.
Well, he got injured, so you couldn't really rotate an injured player, could you?
Yeah, but other than if he wasn't injured, he wouldn't go. Anyway, your point is made, yes. I know, I get it.
Nah, Pep has rotated De Bruyne on many occasions. Towards the end of the season, rotated De Bruyne quite a bit. But no, I do hear you. I do think getting Declan Rice would really benefit. Would really benefit United. Russ, are you really comparing James Garner to Declan Rice?
No, I'm just saying for the future for Garner. Are we just saying
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man.
What?
No, it's because you said I'm just saying.
No, I do think you could easily rotate with Rice and Garner easily. I think we bring in Barrios regardless because he's cheap and sell off some other players. I've not even seen United linked with Barrios, so I don't think you'll go for him.
Neither.
He could be the player we need to rotate against teams like West Brom. James Garner, I don't think he's destined for anything. He's a talent. He is truly a talent. I watched him a couple of times. He is a talent.
But Forest is really good.
It's not enough. It's not enough to not buy Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice should be the one United look at. But hey, the beautiful thing about football is we all have our different opinions. But we are going to wrap up the show there. We spent about 50 minutes talking Declan Rice, as you. Declan Rice won. That's the funny bit. Declan Rice won. He wasn't even a part of the show, and we ended up talking about him more. I do enjoy. Kenny, shut up! I'm talking. But I do enjoy, and I think the viewers do. I think we all enjoy. Sometimes a debate that can be a nice debate. Well, relatively. I mean, no one called anyone an asshole, so that's all. Judging from some of the debates I've seen in the football world, not calling someone an asshole is probably the best debate that you could ever have. Devon says, great pod today. Thanks, fellas. Not a problem. But before we go, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button with notifications on. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Lewis, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Twitter, LewisPay160. Find me on YouTube. I post sports where me, Niall, Kenny, and a few others did a video early on. If you haven't checked that out, please do. It'd be much appreciated.
Perfect. Kenny, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me at Sancho's here on Twitter, Kenny TV on YouTube, and Kenny United on Twitch. There's going to be a lot of Kenny TV content in the coming days.
Perfect. And RJ, what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, just Robot Jack Run on pretty much every social media, so that's really it, to be fair.
Perfect. We'll be back tomorrow with, and you guessed it right, more transfer talk. Although that is slowly dying down. This Friday, don't forget the club shows are back. Chelsea and United so far, I think. Liverpool still waiting to hear back from a few people. Let's make sure you check them out. Also, the Arsenal show might be back on Tuesday. You never know, guys. You never know. So until then, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. But until then, peace out, guys.